as business intelligence as well. So that's why I've used this topic as a data analyst, not business analysis. Business analysis is just a single part of data analysis. So data analysis is the big. You see some job. You see some job that in the market they call it data analyst, but when you begin to read the job spec, it's more of a data engineer job. They won't put it as, some will put as data engineer, but because data analyst is like the parent and everything falls under. So it's like you have this I don't know, like a square and then an arrow, and then we have the branches. So business analysis is a branch of data analyst.
Thank you. So yeah, if I may add to that also, the BA actually collects data. You can also collect requirements. I think we have the lesson that Biola did about what a BA does. Actually, they are more of a spokesperson for the stakeholders. And I know Taye mentioned about stakeholders where you gather your data. So you could also gather your data from a BA, or a BA could gather your data and give it to you. And also, yeah, data analysis is like what you already said anyway. So, and another question that I've got here is, who provide data to use or being analyzed? Is it BA or data? Ty, do you want to?
I will answer that because yes, I will answer that. So, okay. I will start as, you will not necessarily collect data. That's my personal experience. You have data coming from, so you have some data engineers who are going to build a pipeline. So for example, maybe you have a SQL server, you've built a database, and then you just say that it's populated. Like my present job right now, I work in a real estate. I just see the data in the SQL. I don't know who is providing that or how it comes. But I've also worked in a place that I had to gather the data myself. The reason, because there was no SQL database, I had to build an SQL database for them. So the data that I gathered was in form of PDF file that they had. So they've been gathering some data for the past 5 years in PDF. It was a very hectic job. So I had to gather that. I had to convert it into Excel. I had to normalize it. I had to do so many things to it. Then I had to connect it to SQL database. That was the only time I've had to gather data myself. But normally you will, for example, also when I worked in the media company, for example, I know this is a bit advanced. I used API. I was extracting information. So I was getting information using API. So we have a company, Snapchat. Actually, we were working with Snapchat. So Snapchat gave us their API. So I could, the API key endpoints. Maybe those who do the advanced will know what I'm talking about later. So it's left for me to write a code to extract all those data every day. So that one, I'm gathering the data in the sense that I wrote a script using an API key that was given to me. So the data is in Snapchat. Rather than sending it to me, I'm just extracting it directly. And this is because the company was paying a intermediate company a lot of money to get this data, which I can write a query for, a script for, and get it for free for the company. So I think I deserve an award for that. Then that's how you can extract data for gather data. So these are the 3 types of data. So like I did that one manually because we're trying to put everything from the past 5 years that they had in PDF files or Excel files or Word Office. I had to put everything in database. So that's one I did. And the one that you can do by automation is writing a API script that we just start extracting. So once you do that, you don't need to be doing it every day. It's just extracting. If it's every day or maybe every week or every 3 months, depending on what the data is, you just put it there. So that's it. Or you have a intermediate company that will be populating the data for you. But I think for a start, don't worry about data gathering.
Cool. And I know in some cases as well, because I've worked as a DA before anyway. So you might also be in a situation whereby the BA also would gather the requirement for you as well. That also is also possible. And then in the team as well. So DA is a very big field, to be honest, as in so big that even sometimes it's like an elephant in the field. So some people talk about DA, you talk about data science, but yeah, they are still talking about DA anyway. It's really, really big actually. So, and that takes me to the next question that someone has got here. He said, does the role of a BA and DA overlap? I will take this one entirely if
Okay.
you don't mind.
All right.
So yeah, I would say the answer is yes. Not only a
Yes.
BA. So the role of a BA, DA, QA, and Scrum Master overlap. So one thing I can say, DA, to me, I say DA is a life skill actually that everybody should have. All right. Whether you are a BA or you are a QA or you are a Scrum Master or you're a BA, you should have data analytics skill as well, to be honest, because if you're a BA, you might be BA and you are working in a data related field and you have to gather the data, or you have to use Excel. To be honest, even at home, right, you might want to create an Excel. You need to know what is the best visualization, right, to use to present your data. And
Yeah.
even if you're a Scrum Master as well, you want to present your data, that your even performance or anything that your team is doing, you would need to know which visualization to use so that it's not that bulky, it's presentable. And I would say data analytics is a life skill that everybody should have. So even if you already done a BA before, I think you could also add this one to your skill as well. So which means that you can say, now I know how to use Tableau, I know how to use SQL, I know how to use Excel. So it's a life skill and it across everybody. I don't know that Taya has got anything to add to that.
Yes. So no, I will just buttress on the fact that it's they've entered each other, like they've intertwined. So sometimes you don't even know. There was a time I'm asking myself, they called me as a data analyst, but I'm doing more of data engineering. Sometimes it's data engineering, but I'm doing more of dashboard building. So there's a thin line between all these that even I see some job, I said these people don't even know what they want because they say visualization specialist, but what they want is SQL, Python, R, SQL, but they put visualization. So it's they mix. You're going to mix. So, but I think the mix, what Adeji has said, is a lifetime something that we use both even in our home or everywhere. So, and everyone uses it. So you like I was having an interview and I said we use data everywhere, even in our personal home. You may want to even do your own personal account, like how much you spend, how much is going. That is data analysis. That's you are actually looking at your spending trend. Okay, I want to reduce this. I want to do this. So they intertwine. So if you're a BA, you're also a data analyst. You're also a visual. You will do visualization. You will do a form of visualization in one way or the other. Even maybe it may not be in Power BI or Tableau, but in Excel. You remember, even like 15, 20 years ago, all this was just done in Excel. You do this, you do pivot table, then you now go to the visualization and do some pie chart, bar chart, and things like that. Only that this form of visualization have made it more easier and more better to get a robust different type of visualization. And yes, like Bodadeji said, you need to know what visualization to use. You cannot just use any visualization for anything.
Yeah, thanks. And as you are talking, actually, I just have a flashback. Just a quick story. The first role in my life is a data analyst, and I can relate to that. That even at that time, that was almost 20 years ago. And it was not called a BA at all, actually. I can tell you or recall that I hated it because I'm very, very strong in programming, and I started to work in a bank, and they took me to marketing, and I was the one that was collecting their data, analyzing the data, giving it to senior management, and to they actually loved it. But I thought that, guys, I need to write SQL, I need to write programs. Well, it was there they put me actually to work on their data, and because I'm all from that technical background, I did it very well. And it was like, guys, move me to IT. They refused to do that because they thought that, yeah, they need someone that can do this better, but they couldn't get any. So, and until the manager was about to leave, he told the incoming manager that this guy should move to IT. The incoming manager, when I gave him my visualization, he was like, no, you're not going anywhere. So, and I really enjoyed it, actually, but I hated it because data speaks for you, right?
Yeah.
You present it, and it actually have a story at the back of that. Once you're able to narrate the story to senior management, you're going to be there like forever. They're going to love it because management is about decision making. You help them to make decision from the data because it speaks. So once you're able to know how to visualize it, how to present it better, to be honest, and you are going to be very close to senior management, actually decision makers. So that's one thing I like about data analysis, to be honest. So that takes me to the next one, and this one will be for you, Tai. It said, thank you for the presentation. Will a mark suffice for data analysis? I see that Microsoft BI does not work, but Tableau does. Does it mean a mark would do?
Unfortunately, I have to say this. Mark doesn't work for Tableau. I don't know why, but it doesn't. So that's the only problem with Tableau. But Power BI works. But you are not going to. It's Power BI they will be using to teach you. So it's the same as Tableau. So don't worry about if you have Mac for as your operating system.
Okay. So I would recommend get Windows anytime anyway. So a friend
Yes,
of
you
mine,
can have Windows operating system on
yeah,
your Mac as well.
exactly. That's one thing that you can do. Another question is that what is the average salary for a junior analyst?
All right. Anyway, for me, I started with 29, almost 30,000. And I thought I was earning good money. And we had one apprenticeship. I met there, a girl. Within 8 months, she was promoted to data analyst, as a data analyst, so the same level as I am. And within 3 months, she left the company to earn 10,000 more than. I'm telling you a true life story now. So I was thinking, what? I was happy that my first job, 29,000 something, and I was so happy, like at least. And I saw somebody who came behind me, who are more knowledgeable in technically, and she earned within a year of being promoted, within 3 months of being promoted from apprenticeship, she's earning 10,000 more than me. That's when I started to look for job. And so, although you start with about 28,000, like very, very junior, and that's why I say it depends on on yourself. Look, within 6 months, you can change that 29,000 to 50,000. Like if first, I'll say first 3 months, how do I want to use it? Settle down in your job, know what you are doing, pass your probation, then get more hungry look at things that the company is not using that you can go and learn. Udemy has a lot of course. So if you think you are using only Tableau and Excel, and keep practicing on your SQL a lot. Have your own study. Don't only stay at 9 to 5, I finished, that's it. No Saturday study, no 2-hour studies. And that you will be on the same level, I'm telling you. Because if you want to earn that extra buck, you will need to be able to prove that. So if you want like SQL, learn it more, go more advanced, start knowing how to do database, how to create table, how to delete, how to do store procedure, then how to do SSIS, integration services. You don't even need to go for your intermediate. You can go for a senior level if you know that. So maybe in 6 months, 8 months into your work, you can start applying for any job with 20K extra. This what, yeah. So averagely is 28,000 to 30,000 for a starter, and then it's the limit is up to you what you want to earn. And if you think you know it a lot, you want to do daily rates, that's fine as well. There's a lot of that as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. I know Nikki and Sally has been raising their hands, so I'm going to ask you to unmute if you want to talk. Nikki? Okay. Then I'm going to ask Sally Aziz.
Yeah, good evening, everybody. Thank you for your very elaborate presentation. My question is the connection between the coding aspect, like use of Python, use of R, use of is it artificial intelligence, and the rest of them. How do they connect to where do they come into the data analysis?
Okay, fine, thank you. So Python comes as a data analysis by using.
1 minute. I think there's another question on the chat as well. It says, what differentiates data analyst from data engineer and data science? I think that will you can take both of them together because I think they're all the same question. Difference between data analyst, data engineer, and data science.
Okay, so yes, so answering the first question, Python. So we have Python for data analysis, data analyst. Like it depends on the library you are going to import that you're going to use. So as a data analyst, I think the two libraries, mainly the 3 libraries that you need are pandas for data frame, NumPy to do some calculations, and like Matplotlib for visualization. So you can use Python to do some visualization in Python using Jupyter Notebook or PyCharm. So that is for data analyst. Then you said if you want to go deeper for like data science, then you need to install more libraries like logistic regression, so many scale something. I forgot some libraries. So you have some data science libraries that are more advanced that you need to use as a data science. That's why Python looks so popular, because you can use Python for data analyst. As a data analyst, you can use it for data science, and you can use Python programming language as a data engineer to write script for production. So for example, when you are in production, you want to write script to populate things, to make a function, to make a conditional statement. You can use Python programming language for that. So it depends. So there's a simple course for Python data analyst, which is quite simple. Just pandas where you can drop tables, drop column, remove rows, or change rows to columns, or just to manipulate the data frame, or convert some JSON format into a data frame. So that's why we use the pandas library. And the NumPy is to do some arithmetic, some very, very, very complex calculations. You use NumPy for that. Visualization. Those are the three libraries I think you need for data analysis, and maybe Seaborn or Matplotlib that you're going to use for visualization. So that's it for all the, and I think, although this is not covered here, it can be learned on your own. It's not that hard. There's so many courses on YouTube or Udemy that you can find Python for data analysis. Although it's becoming popular, but it's not a criteria. Employers just say that Python is having Python knowledge is desirable. So it helps you in the competitive market, but it's not necessary. And the other question is, what is the difference? So the data engineer, as we said, you are building pipelines, you are building data warehouse where you are storing the data you are collecting, and that's all you are doing. You are not speaking with stakeholders, nobody knows you. You are just there in the back end. It's just like you are the chef, you are cooking in the kitchen, the food is coming out beautifully, the customers are happy, but they're only giving the waiters the tips because it's only the waiters they can see. You can say, so that's data engineer and business analyst for you. So business analysts tend to get promoted quite quickly because they are the face of when they talk, when they make decision, stakeholders love them and they tend to promote them because they don't see what you are inputting. And data analyst is, that's what we have said as well.
Okay, all right, thank you. So I'm going to ask Oyinloye to unmute. Oyinloye. Oluwaso.
Okay, yeah. Good evening. Thank you very much for this opportunity. Please, I just want to ask a question and also in form of an advice for somebody. I guess one of the speakers speak about his experience working in a bank. Okay, I am actually still, let me say I'm still new to this data analysis field. Like I have about 17 months experience. That's a year and some months. But now I've actually been applying for jobs, but then I've not gotten any offer. But luckily for me, I got an offer in bank, which I'm about to resume. And the person speak about his experience in the marketing department. So I just want him to shed more light on how I can at least contribute my analytic skill, and probably because I don't know the department I'll be posted, maybe cash and teller, or I just want a kind of general advice on how I can implement the analytic skill, in the workspace, and how I can get myself to probably move to the IT where I can really make use of this skill, because I actually want to do the data analysis as a career. So thank you. I don't know if you get my question.
Okay, yeah, I got your question, but they're in two thoughts. If you're thinking of moving to IT, that I was, then you don't need to do very well at data analyst because once you do very well, you're going to have a career as data analyst, which I had actually. But one thing I can tell you is that it doesn't matter which department they put into, right? So while I was there working, it was basically marketing department. They send different marketer to the fields, and this marketer, they give them different targets. So you need to have different appraisers that you used to use to actually get them. It's kind of there, so that one marketer will not say, oh, this person was promoted over me, blah blah blah. So, but the metric was the one that I actually put in place. So, and you slot the numbers there, and you bring it out, and then everything is there. It's not, it's black and white. So it depends the department they sign you to. They will give you data to work with, or maybe you might have to collect data. In my own case, I had to collect those data to say, okay, department A, this particular branch, can you send your data, the how many deposit that you collect, or they might give you access to the database in the IT department so that you can write a query for what you're looking for. Actually, that's one. So it doesn't matter what department. I think it should rest assured. So once you know the tools to do your visualization and you know how to get your data, I think it should be fine. So one thing I know, I'm not sure whether you are on the DA. If you're on the DA stream, I think you're on the right place. They are going to teach you how to get that. So another thing is, like, when you do start, you have a lot of people with experience on this platform, which they can guide you through. So my name is Deji, and you can reach out to me as well, and I can be able to guide you through in case you have any issues. And also Tai, recently I think Tai is more experienced than I am in DA. I would say, even though I've got a lot of experience as well. So you can reach out to any one of us, and we will be able to assist you.
Okay, thank you.
Just let me add one more before you go, son. The good thing is you're already one step in already. You're already in the banking or in the company already. So it's left for you now to develop yourself. So I've seen so many jobs you can apply when you think you are ready as an internal, and they can ask you why. You can tell them, I've trained myself. You can try me, you can test me. So you've already have one advantage over the others, that you already work for them. So keep your eyes on their career page when the jobs are coming out. I don't know if they have like internal recruitment, because some place where I am, they first make the job for internal employers already who wants to change careers. So the good thing is you're already in, and just see what is needed for what you want, and then develop yourself with that. So that's what I would say.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
Thanks. So the next question is, are we going to train or work with Python?
No, I don't think Python, honestly, Python is not really necessary to get a job. It may help, it can help you get faster, but it's not. But I don't think we are doing it. It was better that can answer that.
Yeah.
I don't think we have the capacity for that.
I think you're right. With the time that we only have 3 months. There are a lot of tools to touch. So Python is not inclusive for this particular one. We might do an advanced level later as we go along, because right now we have more tutors and mentors that are going to come. I think we have Dayo, we have yourself, we also have Ayo as well, and as well as other bodies. So once we are able to finish this, we can look into Python. Having said that, I do Python for kids. So that's one thing. I train kids how to write in Python. So this basically age 5 to age 18, actually, most especially 5 to 13. So it's not difficult, Python, as I can say. If kids can write Python, you can actually. So that's one thing. So, and so for this time, there's no Python. So moving on to the next one. So I think the question from here is like, how is Python used for analyzing data? I don't think we'll be able to finish answering this question. So this is another topic on its own. How is it used? So this is like basically how is Python used? So I would say it's another lesson on its own. As the word name connotes, must one be good at graphs or statistics? So, okay. So basically, because analytics, right? So do you have to be good at graphs or statistics? That is the question.
Statistics is more for data science. So data science, the job description is a bit different. So you will need statistical model like regression, linear regression. So it's to make a visualization, you don't need to be very good in statistics. Although statistics will help you, but building visualization, you don't need statistics at all. But there's a time that you need to actually build a statistic model to compare and to see the trend, like spotted diagrams or clustered diagrams. You would need to know how to use clustered visual to see how things are clustered and how to analyze it and how to explain it. But I would say normal visualization is enough. You see, if you want to go for more advanced, then you can look at the statistics modeling.
Okay, all right, thank you. I think the last question is like, can the job or as a data analyst be done part-time? I think the answer is yes. Yeah, you can do it part-time and as well as remotely as well. So
most of the jobs now are fully remote, and I would say now if I'm going to look for a data analyst role, I'm only going to tell them I can work fully remote because I'm experienced, I've got the knowledge. I mean, in your first job, if they tell you to come 3 days a week, I'll say go. But I think the maximum is 2 days a week, to be honest. And it's rarely. It's 1 day a week or maximum 2 days. But as you progress and you know your ability, you can negotiate. I can only come when you know your ability that, okay, then you can negotiate full remote.
okay, I think the last question actually was like, okay, this person is confused. You got a BA, now this is a DA. It looks interesting. So do we have a plan? So one thing that I can say is like on Saturday, we're going to wrap everything up. So if you have any other questions, so this is where I will be talking about all these courses. So maybe then, if it's not too late, right, you might still be able to make decisions because we still have some slots for DA, so hopefully it will not be filled by then. So, but like I said, DA is applicable to everybody. So even the is a life skill that every role should have. Whether you are a QA, you are a BA, you are a Scrum Master, or even if you have done previously, and you are looking for other skill to get. And I've seen some people that have done QA with me before. Now they say, okay, I just need to add DA with it because it will just boost your CV as well. So it's a life skill that every role should have. So I can recommend it to anybody that wants to have it actually. So because this will really boost, even if you are not going to work as a DA technically, right? So you can take this skill and apply it to your work. You can take this skill and apply it to your life as well, even at home. So Nikki, lastly, if you want to unmute quickly before we wrap it up.
Good evening, everyone. I just wanted to ask, having knowledge of Power BI, Excel, and also SQL, is that enough to apply for jobs for a DA? Or there's more skills that one needs to learn before you can start applying for jobs as a DA?
Just one of them is enough to get a job as a DA. Having the three makes you cut the line by hundreds of applicants. So having that three is more than enough. But as I said, maybe
Yeah, like I said, where I was working as a DA, even at that point, it was only Excel actually.
Excel.
Oh, so I think, yeah, that you having the three, I think is more than enough. Okay, quickly, Dapo.
Thank you very much for the presentation. So I would like to ask, how, after you're done with this whole training, how do you get, like, I know we have remote jobs, but how do you get like international jobs, one that can pay like in dollars?
I think pounds is stronger than dollar. Why do you think dollars?
Okay,
I can take
dollars.
that.
dollars. Sorry,
Me,
pounds.
yeah, I'm looking for pounds, so not dollar.
Yes.
I think it depends. Like, there are some remote jobs that they actually poach UK. They believe that they are good people, knowledgeable people, and UK has a very good market for highly skilled workers, in the sense that because of its diversity compared to other countries, you will
Okay.
say like countries like Sweden, Hungary, they come, you see recruiters coming from that to say that they're looking for people from here. You're going to be in UK, the recruiter, they've poached me from all these countries, even Greece, Malta, and all these places, Sweden. That's why I can say that. So if you put yourself on LinkedIn and you put yourself globally, why not?
Okay. Thank you very much, sir.
All right. So yeah, thank you so much, Tai, for this session. It's really, really inspiring and also very, very detailed as well. So, and also thanks for everyone for your questions as well. So if you are thinking of applying for DA or you've not actually applied, you want to apply, please do so today, so quickly, because we still have a limited number of people that we can take anyway. So okay, I think Godwin, quickly, because I'm about to round up. Godwin. So I'm going to ask you to unmute.
Yeah, yes, I have a question in the chat, sir.
Okay.
It has to do with the showing of the profile and the dashboard.
Okay, can you ask? I can see the.
Okay, I said with the profile and the projects that you showed us earlier on the dashboard on your GitHub profile and the other one, yeah. Now, are these job related or personal practice? And if they are job related, how will your employer react, knowing that these are in the public domain?
No, they are not job related. You should never do that.
Okay.
So these are my own, but it's also job related because exactly what is there is what you're doing at job, is what I'm doing every day in the job. Do you understand? So there's a lot of data set to practice and push it to your profile. No, it is not a personal job related data set. You should never do that.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, boy.
Yeah, good evening, Deji. I heard you mention when you did the data analysis and BA, and you talked about someone doing BA and then came back again for data analysis or something like that. So when you want to now design your CV, how do you do that? Hello? Can you hear me?
I can answer that before he can jump in and answer that as well. So I've worked in different roles that data analyst, some call it data analyst, some in business insight, some SQL developer, what else? Even some names that I've don't even know. So just as I said, look at the job specs. You see that it's still
if you have worked as a data analyst before, now you've done the training for business analyst, like you now want to go into business analyst. How do you
But it's basically the
present your
same because
CV?
you are the same data analyst and business analyst that you are going to be doing. You are going to be using the same set of tools. The only difference is you may be using one tool more than the other in different jobs. So let me say I'm a data analyst in a role now. The role I have now, I use
Yeah.
more of SQL, but my job is data analyst. There's been a role that I've been a data analyst that is mostly dashboards that I'm building. There's another role that is more of Python to me, and it's also called data analyst or business analyst. So it depends on the company, what tool they use the most. For example, even in your team, maybe one of you know SQL, is one doing most of the SQL. And once he brings the output, you build the dashboard.
Yeah, because someone like Deji, he has been a data analyst, business analyst, also a software tester. Now is a Scrum Master. So how did they navigate that on his CV?
Okay. All right. Okay. 1 minute. I can say so. I've been fortunate to do a lot of roles, even as a developer as well. Yeah. I think your question is how do I represent that?
Yes.
On my CV. I think it's also related to data analyst. Actually, it's visualization, right? So, like I said, I started my career as a DA, even though I didn't. There were like Taye said, there wasn't any concept of DA then, actually, but it was basically heavy data. And yeah, so then after that, I moved into development as a developer, right? That's how my CV is, right? Then as a developer, then at the point I was looking for jobs and I was, okay, I'm open because I now went to do ISTQB, right, as a tester. And I was looking for job. I was a bit open to say whether development job or data analyst job or yeah. So along the line, they were looking for. So I went for an interview as a tester, and it was like, okay, I'm actually coming from development environment, and also I've also developed some softwares as a developer, and also I have also work as a DA. So they were looking into that skill set. They actually, okay, if you can do DA, that means you are very good at Excel. That is good. That actually set me apart because that company was heavily using Excel. Their module were created in Excel, actually. They didn't have any. So if you have to go there and put some data there and see what the result is, right? And then you use that to as a I'm not going to say that is your test script, but basically you use that as a module to confirm what the application will do, right? So it's really good that I got that skill. Then I started as a quality assurance. Then as time goes on, right? So I went to do Scrum Mastering, right? So and certificate, I got certified. Then I was doing permanent then. So yeah, fortunately, our Scrum Master decided to go, so I actually did Scrum Mastering. Now, having got that, so how does it now go? So I put everything on my CV, and I can decide to apply for any role I want to go for. So sometimes I will decide to go for a keyway role, sometimes I go for a Scrum Master role, sometimes I might apply as a keyway, then having got there, and they found out, okay, this person has got a what's it called, a Scrum Master certification and experience. And I thought, okay, can you also do Scrum Masters as well? And I said, why not? I can do that. So, and maybe then my role will change a bit to say either becoming a Scrum Master fully or like a hybrid Scrum Master and a data analyst as well. So that's one thing that had happened. So, and so that's how everything is. So right now in my CV, it's there like that. So you can see keyway. If you go and check my LinkedIn profile, you will see that as well. How everything has involved from being a data analyst, then moving into development. I would say I was a developer first before data analyst anyway. So then after that, a QA, then Scrum Master. So I think, yeah. So I think that's another thing. Now I do most of this training because I've kind of been there, done it actually. So it's easier for me to mentor a lot of people because of the experience I've got in all this field actually over many years. So, and you may not have the same experience I've got or privilege to have, but one thing, let's say you've done a DA before or you've done a BA before, and you can decide to, okay, yeah, I was a BA right now, but I'm applying to become a DA, right? Your experience as a BA is not lost actually, because that was happening in my own case, because you might work in a place that they are looking for a DA/a BA. I think Tai also mentioned that sometimes I think even the DA tutor also mentioned this as well. Like the BA tutor said, sometimes some companies want to have 2 for 1. It happened in my own case. They don't want to, they are looking for a QA manager, and they also don't want to pay for a Scrum Master. They said, okay, you want to be 2? And yeah, that was it anyway. So I can sit there and start talking about these stories anyway. Hope that clarifies what you asked for.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Can I add something? So even though now that I'm looking to diversify as well into software testing, I use my CV as a as a data analyst, and I get a lot of calls because they see my CV, they ask me why, and because like somebody said that, like a recruiter said, we have a problem in our team because we have good QA people, but they can't query data in SQL. So we need somebody who will be able to query the like SQL data. So that's why he called me for an interview. So if you have an experience, I would say like I have like 2 years experience, and if you want to move to maybe data engineering, why not put it on your CV? Like I've learned that if you want to be a software tester or software developer, you continue to put it there. People can see your metamorphosis, like okay, from data analyst to software tester. Maybe when I get a software tester, after a year, I want to move to a web developer because I'm already developing websites, like I did for my own private portfolio. I have my own website that I put everything. I can decide to go into web development after being a QA for 1 year. So you just put it in your CV, and people, as long as you have all this technical skill and you write it there, they will just, it's not a problem that you are changing like careers. People do that a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
And I think they actually love it because you are bringing different skill sets to the table. And I know one thing they ask, which is very, very interesting. Every of your interview, they will ask you, why are you making the move, right? I love that because out of all the questions, I know this is going to happen, so I get prepared. I have a story that I need to tell them, right? And if you see, like now, I've told you now, I can even spend like half an hour talking about how I've made my journey. So if you already have that story, because you know they're going to ask you actually that you are a QA before, why are you thinking of moving as a DA? What's the problem? Yeah, you can say, whoa, I'm about quality, right? And now as a DA, I can bring visualization quality into your visualization. Do you get it now?
Yeah.
That is a skill set they also need. Do you get it now? To say some DA, to be honest, they could be like developers. They just develop their visualization without testing it. And that could be terrible as well. So, and you coming from a QA line or BA line, you are bringing another thing even to the table. The same thing, if you're a DA and you are going into the quality, having that skill set to query, right, visualize. Like I told you about my career, my first QA role, it was every SQL statement and every Excel they needed someone that can interact with Excel. And to be honest, another thing I will tell you, that was the first role they asked me, because when you finish as a QA, I have to write user guide, and this user guide could be almost like 15-page, I said 50-page user guide for the application. And then at the point, the manager asked me after 2 years, he said, Deji, I think you're going to become a BA. To be honest, I really don't know what a BA does. And I was a bit afraid, because I thought, I like QA. I can do it in my sleep. Actually, at the point someone asked me that, what do you do? I don't know. They just pay me. I can do what I want to do. I can do it in my sleep. But they wanted to move it as a BA, but I didn't know what that is until when in future. And I thought, oh, it was because of the user guide that I was preparing for them. And that's exactly what a BA would do at that time. They actually love it. To be honest, my user guide is like kind of what a Microsoft user guide will have been for those guys that have used Windows on 93 or whatever. Then you know what, that bulky document that they give to you to install those applications, it was like that actually. So with screenshots, nice, tidy, that was it at that particular time. So having done this, I think it's kind of, you get that transferable skills. I think that's one other thing that Taye also mentioned. In DA, you have a lot of transferable skill that you can bring to your role, which is very, very important. That's why I can actually overemphasize that DA is a life skill that everybody should have. Everybody, even irrespective of your role, actually, at any particular time, is going to set you apart. Okay. All right, cool.
Thank you.
No worries. So I'm going to ask Chinyere, please. You still have your hand up?
Good evening, all.
Uh,
I want to ask, as a student, is it possible to get a job role, a part-time job role, in data analyst while I'm still studying?
your question is in two folds, right? One is what your visa say, right? As a student, you cannot work more than 20 hours.
Okay.
That is one. And I'm not sure now whether you can work professionally as a student, because most of these roles are professional jobs, right? But as long as you are not, because that is it, it's a different thing. Let's say you are able to work professionally. Yes, they can do that. One thing I can tell you, I can also tell you about my experience, because I also studied here. I normally say I studied one of the best universities in Edinburgh then, actually. So as a student, I applied early, actually, but I was rejected. I will tell you so. I was rejected. One thing, because I didn't have the right visa. So not that I was not good. So, but one thing they actually asked me, when as a student, I was applying very early, right? Even when my mates was applying for menial jobs or other jobs, I was applying for professional jobs. But I was rejected because I didn't have the enough visa to be able to work full-time, right? That is one. Then the second thing was, some people were rejecting me, but they are giving me feedback that, oh, you need to do this with you. We are not taking you with that. Because that, as a student, that's when I did my ISTQB certification, because I thought it was needed. So then when I finished, then there was no rejection. Again, I think I actually got my first job immediately I finished my exam. That's what happened, even while my certificate is not yet ready. Because at that point, as a student, when you're on vacation, you can work full-time. So I just went to the employer and I said, now I finished. I'm not going to the college, and that is it. And and they were able to offer me that role. So whether you are able to work professional part-time, I don't know yet. As you know, this regulation changes. So you might need to speak to other people. Maybe another person is here that has got that experience as well. You can raise your hand to help this particular person. So, but I know that this is left for the employer. Actually, to be honest, it's not that I don't think it's possible. Once you can, okay, it's part-time, I can only work 20 hours. But for me, I didn't see that part-time role, right? Most of the role I saw was full-time. Yeah, so one that I can say. I've got some people raising their. I'm not sure whether any of them want to answer your question directly if they got experience on that. So, well, that's what I can say. So it's not that it's impossible, right? Once you see a role that accept part-time and they also accept 20 hours, then that's fine, because that's the only thing, that's the only limitation in there anyway. Who's iPhone? So I'm going to, I think, because you joined later, but maybe you got anything to add to what I said. iPhone. Yeah.
Thank you. Sorry, my name is Jobrelated. You mentioned about is a Python for the children earlier on. Sorry, this is different from what's going on, but I just wanted to know. I've got a daughter of 16 years, and she's interested in that. What do I need to do? And how much does it cost? And when is the next enrollment for that?
Okay, so the course is free, right? So for any kids, actually, anywhere. So I'm going to send a link out now. So that is the link to the platform. So you just need to kind of enter that. So the next application form will be sent out very soon. So we just finished one around December when they did the graduation, actually. So right now we're on break. Actually, another session will start in around end of the month, actually. So you are free to, yeah.
Oh, that's fine.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, David.
All right, no problem. Yeah. So is it Anselm? Sorry if I don't pronounce your name properly.
Yes.
Anselm.
Yes.
How do you pronounce your name? Sorry.
Yeah, Anselm.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you for your presentation. I have a few questions. I tell people no one has read it. I ask if there's does a postman work with GA?
Postman.
Yeah, that's my first question.
Okay. You are talking about Postman for APIs, right?
For API.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think they're related, right? So I think the only thing that I can say is, like, if you have to extract your data, yes, maybe you might need to use a Postman. That's another thing about DA and BA, right? Sometimes it depends on how technical your role is, right? It's because some of them are not that technical. Excel is fine, you succeed in that. Some of them you might have to use Power BI and SQL, that's fine. But some of them you might also need to use APIs, so to be able to get the data out, and then you visualize it. So, but necessarily, I think it's not a tool for data analysts, but it's an addendum, right, that you could use to be able to be successful if it's required. Tai, what do you think?
I didn't use API as Postman as a DA, but I did use Python. I think because Postman is more like for verification, not to extract data. Maybe I don't know if you can extract data, but if you have that, I think they look at it as well. So it was one of my questions in the QA interview, but what I did as API as a DA was writing script in JavaScript and Python script.
Okay. Yeah, and I know with Postman you can also extract your request, right, and get a response. Then your response will be the data that you are going to use as well. But it's even good, like you said, because it's not a tool that a conventional DA will use, to be honest. I don't, yes. Okay. So it's applicable to a tester, I would say.
Okay. Another question, I think you answered already. I asked what's the most tools we use in DA, and is it QA overlap GA? So I think we use SQL and we QA and GA as well. So you answer my question when we have a briefing as well. So the last one is I don't know if it's a silly question. Is what the difference between data science and data engineering?
Science is actually looking for more of statistics. So
Okay.
you're looking at a lot of trends, a lot of you want to find the Z point, end points, different. I didn't really go to data science because I didn't really like statistics.
Okay.
But data engineering is more like building pipelines. So you are connecting the raw data and populating it into a data warehouse.
Okay.
That's your job. So there's so many tools for that. And you can use SSIS like SQL Server Integration Service. You can use cloud, Azure or AWS to build your pipelines. You can use so many things. So that's data engineering. You just take the raw materials, build a pipeline, you feed it into the database, and you have to make maybe incrementally, you have to write this code like if it's every day, depending on the interval, and then you have to refresh it. That's you have to write a program or you have to schedule it. So that's the data engineering. So that's why you don't really talk to stakeholders. You don't really talk to anyone except your colleagues. I mean, that's the big, if you really don't want to be, and that's why you can be at home and do, you have more time, to be honest, doing that because you are not really, because as a DA, after you finish your project, you have to present it, you have to talk about it, you have to write documentation. So it's not just working on it, you have to do more. So it will actually take more time. And then you have a lot of meetings because we have this department. Oh, can I have this? Another department, can I have this? Can I do this? I have this meeting and that. So yes, so you'll be busy as a DA speaking with it. That's why communication is very, and if you have been overworked, it's good to communicate and to be, rather than saying I can give you in 1 week's time, tell them that, okay, as long as it's not urgent or it's not from the CEO directly, you can tell them that you have things in your plate. I can give you in 3 weeks or 2 weeks. Yes, so that's you are more proactive with everybody, every department, and than data engineer that just build and put it in the pipeline. That's it. Build and put it in the pipeline. Build and put it in the pipeline.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. So, okay, I think that those are the questions. The only question I've got that is also asked is that as a DA, do you need to use Python? I think now that's already been answered. So even if you don't have IT experience and you don't know how to use Python, you don't need Python to be successful as a DA. Even Excel should be enough, actually. And if you want to progress, you can also add SQL to it, and then you can add Power BI. Those will be taught, actually. So at the end of the program, you will know Excel a lot, actually. And to be honest, it's going to make your life easier even as well. Sometimes it's so bad that sometimes when I want to add some numbers together, I don't bring my calculator on my computer. I bring Excel out. To add the numbers together because it's faster to read that too, because the calculator you have to be backspace and everything. With Excel you can just type everything is equal to 2 times and then look what well. So that's that. So once you know, that's why I said this one is a life skill that you need to use for forever. To be honest, trust me, you're going to really enjoy it actually. So, and another question, this is not related, I think, what age kids needs to have to join. So yeah, so I think that's for the coding for kids anyway. So I've answered that 6 to 18. So okay, and that's all, everyone. So I've sent the link out for everyone. If you want to register for the course, please do it ASAP. By tomorrow or Friday, we're going to collect the number, and once we have the number that we need, I think we're going to short the application. So because the internship proper will start, we start collecting it over the weekend, and then that will be the number. So please do apply if you think this will be for you. All right, I want to say thank you so much, Ty, There's another
My
person.
pleasure.
Okay, quickly, Niyi Olua is a Niyi Olua. Sonny, please.
Okay. Yes, sorry for bringing you back, Mr. DJ. Yes, so I just wanted to ask that is there a catch-up class again like this tomorrow?
I'm not sure what is on the calendar, but I can tell you there will be one on Saturday where
Okay.
we wrap up everything, all the courses, and yeah, to see, so that will be one that I will take actually. So I
Okay.
will talk about briefly about all these courses. I'm not sure about the one that we have tomorrow, but I will look into that. If you're already on the Telegram group, they will send information
Yeah,
across.
so by that Saturday would have been assigned to different teams.
So that by Sunday, I would say, yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, everyone. And thanks so much, Taye, for this
Thank
session.
you.
It's really, really useful. Thanks to, yeah. All right. Thanks. I will see you guys later.
Bye,
Yeah,
and good
cheers.
luck, everyone.